Hi, thanks for watching. This video is all about the custom tactics. What do the numbers mean? What does each slider do? So let's have a little look. We're going to go to team management. You can do this before you play any game, offline game. Team management, custom tactics. Let's have a look. Well, first start, this is the default tactic. So you can see down here we've got build up play. Build up play generally is first 2/3 of the pitch. Now we're looking at speed, pretty self-explanatory. You can see on the top there if you have a little look through. One is super duper slow, balance, that'll be slow build up possession play. Take that up to 100, which is just absolutely flat out. What was this one? 62 I think, wasn't it? Passing, 29 is a short ball. I think 33 is short, and then anything above that you start to go into what they call the mixed. You're relying on your players, if you like, to make the best decision. So you've got 33 for passing, nice short ball. These two shouldn't be too far apart. If you think about it, you can't have a speed of 1. If you're saying to your players, right, be super cautious, very, and then you tell your players as well, looking for a long ball, that just doesn't work. They blatantly contradict each other. So you can't have speed of 1 and passing of 100, or you couldn't have, speed of 100 and passing 1. That's just absolutely bonkers. So they should be reasonably close. I would say no more than 30 apart. Ideally, they're pretty similar. They're even less far apart than that. But the default in here, if I'm going to go back. Exit without saving, just so we can go back to see what it was. Go back into custom tactics. Here we go. 62-29, so about 33 apart there. Organised, self-explanatory. If you have a look at the guy there, you can press Y for info and it tells you what's what. You've got a choice: organised or freeform. Freeform will mean players make runs. You can see your left back and right back. They'll get forward. I don't often play with freeform as a build-up. I tried it out before, and I'm happily playing away, and all of a sudden I've got someone through, and hey, I'm looking at my play. It's John Terry. I don't want John Terry through on goal having a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I want my striker up there, or one of my wingers, or one of my central attacking midfielders. So generally I don't play freeform. I'll always keep that organised. The left back in a lot of formations, the left backs and right backs, they're going to bomb up the pitch anyway. It doesn't matter what work rates you've got. You can have a medium-high left back, and he's still gonna charge up the pitch with some formations. So they should be reasonably close. This really decides who do you want bombing up the pitch. And the thing is, as well, with freeform, is that if someone goes up, someone will drop back in. So you can find all of a sudden your left wing is playing at left back. You've got CDM as a centre back. You've got John Terry or Vidic, God forbid, up front trying to have a shot on goal. Not my thing usually. Although for passing, quick passing, it does work, but not my thing. Chance creation. These three. Again, pretty self-explanatory. This applies to the last third. You can see here we've got a choice of organised or freeform. If you want to keep your strikers in position, if you're playing say 4-3-3, if you want to keep your left and right wingers on the left, on the right, you want your striker in the middle, play organised. If you don't mind whether your striker drifts out to the side, and you've got your right winger or your left winger, or right forward or left forward, acting as a striker, having a one-on-one with the goalie, then play freeform. I prefer to play freeform in this position, but it's entirely up to you. Try them as both. You can try it organised, try it on freeform. Yep, up here we got chance creation, passing. Again, these really not too related to these two, but they shouldn't be too extreme away from your build-up play. The lower you go with passing, the shorter the ball. Long passing, if a lot of the LBY spammers, they're going to have passing 100, which is long ball. Chance creation, they're going to have passing up there 100, passing down here 100, and just spam long balls through all the time. If you want to play a really short game, then you could whiz that down to 10. So passing, obviously pretty self-explanatory. Talks about the passing. Crossing, I think this one is probably the most misunderstood out of all the custom tactics. This one really applies, I find, this really applies to your midfielders more than anything. If you're playing a, for example, 4-3-3-4, some people say, oh, it's terrible to defend with, you've got no one to defend with. If I'm playing 4-3-3-4 and I'm doing different custom tactics, if you had 30 crossing, for example, 50 passing and 70 shooting, what that's saying is the first option, I want anyone up front to get in a good shooting position. The higher the shooting, the more that your forward players are going to run through on goal. That means the more likely you're going to be caught offside, but it also means it's more likely that you're going to beat the offside trap and end up with a one-on-one. So crossing, it really means it's, do you want your midfielders to rush into the box? So if you're playing a 4-3-3-4 and you played it like that, 50, 70, you put your crossing up to 100, what you'll find is your both of your centre mids, or even your central defensive midfielder, they are just going to bomb forward like nutters, and you'll end up with just your back four to defend with. So crossing, think of it, do you want your midfielders to make runs into the box to get across? How far do you want them to run in? That's what crossing means. If you have your crossing to extreme, they're all going to run in towards the goalie, towards that byline. Shooting, same sort of principle. If you're shooting at 100, what you're telling is your players up front, you want them to bomb forward, get to that byline to to beat the keeper. If you have shooting at the other extreme, for example, 1, you see how their chance creation, little chance creation, that will be a long shot tactic. If you've got players that are great at long shots, you're not bothered about dribbling them up, skilling them up, getting them close to the goalie or even in the penalty area. What you do, you set a custom tactic up where your shooting was pretty low. All that means is, if you like, that shooting tactic, if you think of crossing, do you want your midfielders to run into the box or just stay back? Shooting is for your strikers, your forwards. Do you want them to charge into the penalty area, or do you just want them to sit back? If you want them to sit back, then reduce your shooting. They'll be up front, but they just won't charge like nutters to beat the offside trap. Chance creation, as I say, I'll play free form on that one. Having a look down here, this is right, defence pressure. What that means really is, where do you want your back line? If you want your back line, if you take pressure down to 1, your back line, your back 4 or your back 3 are going to sit right in front of your goalkeeper. Your back line is really going to be on the 6-yard line. If you have pressure of 100, defence deep, you can see defence medium, defence up, you are creating a very, very high line. If you imagine your team taking up half the pitch, if we look at the pitch above, your back 4 are going to sit up near the halfway line, and your strikers, your cam, your right wingers, your forwards, whatever you're playing, they're going to be up literally in the penalty area, just behind the penalty area. You're going to be looking to play football very, very high. It's great for putting pressure on people. It's great for certain aspects, as long as you don't play it too much like a noob with the aggression and the team width. But you're utterly, totally vulnerable to long balls. If someone spams, if you've got pressure of 100, someone else gets possession, they've got quick strikers, LBY, bang, they're away. You're just going to lose virtually every lob ball because you've got no one back. So that's what your pressure means. Aggression, if we go 33 or below, it's contain. What your defenders are going to do, or anyone that's doing a defensive role, they are going to stand in front of the ball. When I say stand in front, it's going to be between the goal and the opponent. They're going to stand there, they're going to contain. They're not going to try too hard to tackle, they're going to contain. If we go up, press, that means they're going to make an effort, and this really depends on the aggression of the player that you've got. If the AI is defending, if you're controlling another player to cut off passing lanes, Just depends on, you know, if you've got an aggressive player, they might steam in. So 50 is sort of leaving it up to the AI. Some may tackle, some may stand off a bit. Depends on the aggression of the player. When you go up here, double aggression, double. That's the fierce. You know, when you play online, you've got the noobs that set it up with 100 pressure, 100 aggression. This is the ultimate noob tactic. 100 team width 1. Yeah, it's a sort of tactic. Well. Auto switching, of course. RB, teammate contain, finger on the A button. It's easy once you know how to play against. It's not nice to play against, you know, it's try hard noob, but it's once you know how to play it, it's reasonably easy to play against. It's just not much fun. But that's the ultimate noob tactic down there. Otherwise, the pressure is where you want your defensive line to be. Aggression is how aggressive do you want your team to be. When I play a high line, you'll see on the next video, one of my tactics, it is set at 100 because I want people forward, but my aggression is 33. If you do that, it's good to stop the counter-attacks a bit, because what I'm saying to my players there, my team is, look, I want you to play high, I want you to play really high, but aggression I set at 33 because that means the team will keep its shape. And if the opposition do counter-attack, which they will, rather than tackle and get beaten, I want them to get goal side and just contain. It's a little bit of a help. So when I play 100 pressure, I play aggression 33. I want the team to keep in their shape. And if you like, getting goal side on any counters. Team width 1 is extremely narrow. Pretty self-explanatory, but this is quite one of the significant sliders that you can alter. Team width of 100, extremely wide. If you've got someone playing it through the middle, you know, you're playing 4-3-1-2 and the guy's not using his left or right back, then a narrow team width might be better. If you've got someone bombing it down the rings, you know, 4-4-2, all of a sudden if you go team width of 100, you've got your left back and your right backs pushing out that little bit further. Which could give you a bit more of a chance to stop the crosses coming in. So that's how wide you want your team to be, really. I think I don't do any less than 30. If I'm going to play a narrow formation, I don't do any less than 33. Width, usually 50 to 65, although it is playable. I mean, I do, if there's enough interest, I'll show you loads of different custom tactics that you can try out yourself for different situations, so you can find your favourites. I don't use at the moment a team width 100. Tactic, but I have before, and it played absolutely beautifully. So these are your custom tactics. These are what they mean. These are the different. Oh, and the last one we've got defender line, cover, or offside trap. I don't know whether this is just an EA thing, but every time I've ever used offside trap, more people pass me. I get more people make successful through balls and LBY spamming long balls over the top when I use offside trap than when I use cover. So I've just given up on offside trap. I don't know whether it's a bug in the game, it's just me, the way I play it, but just a thought, it is. I get more people beating me when I play offside trap than when I play cover, so I always play cover. So that's it with those. They do make a big difference. You can move these sliders around anywhere you like, and you can end up with something that plays absolutely horribly. They do take a bit of getting used to, a bit of tweaking, if you like, but this is really what they all mean. The important things to remember is that don't make those two too far apart. 60 and 30 fine, but don't have 100 speed and 1 passing, or 1 speed and 100 passing, because that just doesn't make sense. Positioning, how freeform do you want to be? If you're not bothered about your centre back, your centre mids, literally sometimes you can end up with your centre back or your centre mids having one-on-one chances. With freeform, that's fine. If you want your team to keep their shape, use organised. Passing, do you want risky? The higher it is, it's more LBY, long balls through. The smaller the number, the more you want, passing and possession. Crossing, do you want your centre mids involved? Do you want other people getting into the box? And when they do you want them literally charging to the byline? If you see some teams, sometimes they've got literally 6 players on the byline after they've had an attempt at goal. That's because probably crossing is quite high. Shooting, long shots. I don't want the players getting too close to the goalie. There's no point, because they're going to have a long shot, will be 1. If you want people trying to break that offside trap all the time, then zap that number right up. Positioning, again, organised, freeform. We've said about that. If you want your team to keep its shape organised, otherwise go freeform. Pressure, where do you want your back line? Think of it like that. Where do you want, if you could imagine your team as taking up just under half of the pitch, and you could slide it up and down. If you move your back line forward, your forwards go forward. The higher you go, the more pressure you're going to put on your opponent, the more people you're going to have up there ready to score goals or dribble past and attempt to score goals. But the downside is the higher your defensive line, the more you could get beaten with through balls and the over the top LBY spamming. Aggression, do you want your team to contain? Just quickly, again, I know a lot of people suggest a pressure 10 and pressure 10. Let me just set that down just so you can see. Pressure 10, aggression 10. Against LBY spammers, I just find aggression 10 much too passive. It's too passive. Remember, even if you're a good player, you're an average player, you're a bad player, you're a great player, you're only ever controlling one player out of the 11 at any time. The other 10 players on your team are doing what you tell them to do. And I just find that the aggression at 10 is just too passive for me. So if you want to watch this, this is what they do, and I've explained about team width as well and down there. So this is how to adjust the sliders. If I wanted to save that, let's say this is my favourite tactic of all time, and I wanted to save it, all I do now, X save, and I could save it down here, and I'll save it as, now brand new one, I'll save it as empty, so I'll save it as custom 10. So this tactic now, I've just tweaked it anyway, is custom 10. And like I showed on the other video, if we go back, we'll get out of here now. If I went on to quick tactics and I wanted to try that tactic out, all I do there on quick tactics, I want to set it in that one, I will go down, I could have gone up, but I will go to custom 10, and there it is, ready for me to play. So thanks for watching this one. The next clip I'm going to do, I will show you the exact 4 tactics. I will show you, let me go back, custom tactics, I will show you these little beauties. Custom 1, Custom 2, Custom 3, Custom 4. These are the exact 4 tactics that I'll be using for the offline and online gameplay, unless I say otherwise. So if you see me saying, right, I'm switching to Custom 2, Custom 3, Custom 4, going Custom 1 now, you will know exactly what they are. If you want to try and you know, sort of play along and learn along as I'm doing the instructional videos, the tutorials, you will know exactly what I'm doing, and you'll be able to do exactly the same thing. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Tell your mates all about it. I'm doing this part-time. If I get enough people liking, you know, good comments and everything else, then there's loads more I can do. If you want me to run through different custom tactics, because there's literally hundreds and hundreds of different options available for different situations, let me know, and I'll put a clip up just giving you some different custom tactics to try. Right, thank you for watching. Thank you.